Good evening, Lake Orion. Welcome to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. Well, I guess I'm hosting. Yeah, I'm hosting. Yeah, let's just go with that. All right, hit the credits. Indeed, Lake Orion. We are here between Taorminas. What are you two doing? Doing all right.
Oh, oh,
Doing all right. How you doing, gentlemen?
Man, easy. Fine. You're getting close.
Super. All right, let's talk about the Lions. The Lions.
Who?
You know who I'm talking about.
Penn State Nittany Lions?
They lost to MU, though.
Who?
The Detroit Lions.
Will you be easy?
The Detroit Lions beat the Minnesota Vikings. Ian, what do you think about that?
In a football game?
No, in a pony puff game. Exactly.
In a pony puff contest? Were you the judge?
No.
Okay. The Lions, they did win.
No Calvin, no Reggie.
No Calvin, no Reggie. They won on the road. Good. Division win. Good. 8 sacks on defense. Good.
3 picks.
Offense still looks bad. Bad. I'm scared about that a little bit.
The Lions looked actually.
Is this we sponsored by Coca-Cola here today?
Today we are.
Okay.
The Lions, I still don't understand how they're number one ranked defense in the league. I don't understand.
When you sack 8 times, hold them to 3 and
picks.
3 picks. That might
I don't understand why. A lot of people looked at this defense and said, well, the Lions are not they're not going to be good, especially at the corners. And, they've actually made shift that with that defensive line. We got a lot of players like Sue and Fairley are playing their contract year. Ziggy Ansah has been a huge impact for this team. I mean, the Lions are basically playing right now some of the best football, and it's early, though, but this is a positive start. It's probably a better thing to do it ever since the Jim Short disaster last week.
Yeah. My concern is the offenses the Lions have played. They haven't played anybody yet. Green Bay's good, but aside from that, who have they played?
They played Buffalo, Cowboys,
Stank,
Teddy
lost.
Bridgewater.
Terrible.
They won.
He's
but now
not
they get
good.
to play the Saints this week.
That's a test.
That's a test, especially with Drew Brees. That's at Ford Field, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's still indoors.
New
where the Saints
Orleans
thrive.
struggles on the road.
On the road in
You
general,
know
yes,
that.
but
New Orleans struggles on the road.
they're a dome team.
There's no Jimmy Graham, though.
There's no Jimmy Graham.
What happened to Jimmy Graham?
He's out.
What did he get hurt
Like
with?
2, 4, 3
4
weeks.
weeks. Yeah,
something
2,
like
4
that.
weeks, yeah. So that's going to be a devastating blow for the Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Lions are struggling. That's one of your favorite teams, the
It
New Orleans
is.
Saints.
I hope the Lions kill him.
But what if Calvin and Reggie don't come back?
Reggie will play.
Reggie
Calvin
will play.
not.
Calvin will not. You don't think so?
I'm okay with that.
Why?
I need
Why?
Because our schedule's a lot harder at the end than it is at the beginning. We need Calvin healthy for the stretch run at the end. Chicago, Green Bay,
Are both on
New
the
England's are in there
Are on the road.
on the road. It's 3 tough road games right there.
When looking at the Lions, I mean, it's good right now the way their offense is struggling right now because they can get better later in the year.
They can.
I mean, but the top games are going to be ahead of them. You know what I mean? Green Bay is going to be in the cold, probably be in a snowstorm. Chicago probably be in a snowstorm. New England, I'm not sure how that weather situation is
I
going
think
to look.
that's week 12, so it's going to be later.
Could be later, yes. But when you look at the cold, you look at the Lions have experience playing in snow. They played in about 4 inches of snow last year.
Ask the Philadelphia Eagles.
And yet they still lost. Yeah. I mean, this team's got experience. They can win in this type of environment in the snow. I think go into Chicago and beat Chicago. I like them in that matchup against the Bears because of their defense. And Green Bay at Lambeau's going to be a tough game, especially if Aaron Rodgers plays well. New England, of course, Brady's starting to get back to him where he is starting to come back to be, but he's still. And we talk about this in the fantasy football show, about Brady, trying to bounce back, But I still think he's going to struggle down the stretch. He's got a couple. Even if he's going to have some friendly matchups down the stretch, especially with the Jets defense. Good Lord. But with the Lions, just buy high on them right now and sell later.
Question for you. What was their record after 8 games last year?
Wasn't it 5-3? 6-2.
6-2. What would they finish the year at?
They didn't make the playoffs. 7-9.
We've seen this story before.
Yes.
Are you guys getting too excited?
No. Oh, heavens, no.
Are you cautiously optimistic?
Not optimistic at all.
You're not optimistic at all?
Because this team's had a history of disasters.
Yeah.
A lot of people say Jim Cole, is he the right guy for this team? This offense, if they can't get out of that funk, then we could have another relapse of last year. Everybody said last year the schedule was so favorable for this team, and yet this team lost 8 of 9 to close out. No, sorry. They lost 7 of 9 to close out the year, which is awful. This Lions team, they made us look like a bunch of fools. And
every year.
Every year. And what makes you think they're going to try to do this again to us this year?
You look at the loss to the Buffalo Bills. The loss to the Buffalo Bills is an omen for the Lions.
Same old
But
Lions.
they did beat the Green Bay Packers. They did beat the Minnesota Vikings. And they look pretty good against the Chicago Bears. I would say that the Lions are probably going to try to take care of business in the NFC North before looking at the other games. It's one thing, it's good to take care of business against the NFC North, but it's going to be very tough against the rest of the league.
You win those 3. The important games, we need division games because, those are the keys. If the Lions can win those remaining division games and they sweep everybody in division, I like their chances, you know what I mean? It's not going to be an easy chore because they still got to play at Chicago, at Green Bay to close out the year. But if there's one team I think I can do, it's the Lions.
It seems like that your division's irrelevant. It really is. It really sounds like your division's irrelevant because...
Where are you going?
Simple. Because you look at what if the Lions beat everybody in their division? What if the Lions beat... Okay, if the Lions beat everyone in their division, it's 6 wins, okay?
Wait.
It's
Yes.
6 wins. What if the Lions go 6-10?
But they already beat both New York teams.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's 8 wins at least.
Yes. Let's see. Could that be a playoff spot?
8-8.
No. Not quite.
You win a division?
If you win all your division games. Listen, guys, they've won 2. They've won 2 in the division, which is good, which is great. It's what you want them to do.
Right.
They've got 4 more.
Those are the games you have to win. Is your division
3 of them on the road.
3 on the road.
3 are on the road.
Yep.
And the Lions haven't fared well on the road.
2 are on the road.
You're
No,
right.
3.
You're right.
Chicago.
Oh,
They
yeah,
beat
you're right,
Minnesota.
you're right. My bad.
They did what they needed to do. They've kind of done what they needed to do, aside from the Bills game. And that's all we can
The
say
Bills
right now.
game, they should not have.
Who you got for the Lions and Saints?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Pick it.
Saints are off a bye week. Lions offense hasn't looked good. Give me the Lions. I don't know why.
I'm going to say Saints. I think the Saints, you said it right because of Drew Brees. You said it right because of Drew Brees and his experience in domes. Ford Field is a dome. I think that even though New Orleans has a bad record on the road, it's been well documented. I think New Orleans gets the job done at Ford Field.
Give me the Lions by a field goal.
You said that last week.
Yeah, Lions by a field goal.
How about
Hey,
that field goal
what do you think
kicker?
about Jason Hansen? He got called up. He wanted to come back, and the Lions said no. What do you think about that? I think that's very disheartening for the Lions.
I don't think it's disheartening.
Awful.
He's
no.
old.
It is disheartening. He could have made kicks, pretty much 2 field goals.
You think Hansen would have had all those?
Time to get rid of him.
Time to get rid of Prater?
Yep.
Boy, wasn't that something when he missed that first one.
Yep. I know.
Then he missed another one.
Yep. Time to bring Jason Hansen back.
No, he's old.
He offered to come back.
I know. He's old.
He's not that old.
I appreciate what he did for 20 years. Oh, just go relax. Enjoy your life.
Hey, I mean, if he wants to help out the Lions, let him.
I guess. I don't know how much of a help he'd be. Over Prater? Got Prater. I think he'll be fine. Hopefully.
The key word is hopefully.
That's the Lions' keyword every year. Hope. We're hoping. We're hoping you'll stay tuned after this commercial break.
Welcome back, everybody. We got hockey to talk about today. Of course, hockey season just started opening night. Of course, you just got ripped off on a screw job. Anthony just won his first hockey game today.
Wow. First of about 10 this year.
Yep. Ian, what's your thoughts on your beloved Red Wings?
There are a lot of young players on that team, which I like, which I think is going to be good.
Yeah.
I don't like the way they lost the game on Saturday.
Yeah, it's Anaheim.
That was disappointing.
How is that disappointing?
Because whistle-happy refs weren't anywhere to be found on a pretty clear call on Cronwall.
Why?
He got Cronwalled.
No, he didn't.
He got Cronwalled.
Ant likes to play anybody except the state of Minnesota right now.
I hate the Wild.
Yep. Like
What's
I
your
said,
record?
1-2.
I hate the Wild. I hate him, hate him, hate him, hate him.
Beautiful. And I said 0-1 because I lost to Smashville. Or Nashville.
So, yeah, this is interesting. You guys real pumped up, both your teams.
I got
Real
hope.
pumped up. What happened? Why are you coming out with a dud?
I got hope in my team. Stars didn't play well against Nashville because they started their backup goalie in that game.
Why? Why did they start the backup already?
Because to give Kari some rest, and also
After one game?
Kari played well against Chicago. You know what I mean? He played well against Chicago. Chicago's a good hockey team this year, as you know. Dallas should have won that game. They should have had. They lost in a shootout, but the Stars played as well as he could in that game. Now against Nashville, they took a step back. They play Columbus tomorrow night. And I think the Stars are going to get the first win of the regular season tomorrow night.
In Columbus or in Dallas?
In Columbus. And just won in Boston today.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. I will remember it. Anyways,
I'll root for you over Boston.
thank you.
I'd root for Colorado.
Anyways, you look at you have to be realistic here. Avalanche just played Minnesota, who is a very, if you look at Minnesota, you got to give them props.
You like them?
No, I don't like
Oh.
them. But you got to give them props. Minnesota came ready to play, and they truly deserved the 2 wins, unfortunately. I don't like admitting that, but they deserved the 2 wins. Anyways, do I expect the Avalanche to rebound? Of course. I think that they've got, you look at that division's brutal. But, I think the Avs are going to bounce back from it, and I think that, there's still plenty of hockey to be played. Same as goes for your Wings. Yes, your Wings are young. Your Wings are, there's a lot more hockey to be played. And that's the beauty of hockey. You got 162 games in the
82
Pardon
games.
me?
Pardon me.
the baseball schedule?
182
Man, you
games.
missed the Tigers already.
6 more months.
You're giving cheering for the Kansas City Royals,
No, I won't.
Hit that panic button, please. Well, Ian is cheering for the Kansas City Royals. Wow, no panic button.
No.
No panic button.
I won't root for the
All right,
Royals.
but anyways, my point is that there's plenty of hockey to be played. There's plenty of you look at, it's still early. I mean, you look at, and the season just started. And we got some quite exciting times coming up.
We do. winter's coming, though. That's what that means.
Yeah, it's going to be snow on the ground. We're going to be driving in misery.
Yeah.
You might be stuck at work a couple times. You know?
Sounds great.
That's going to suck for you.
Yeah. What about you? You're not going to get stuck?
No, I'll be out of college. I'll be happy.
What are you going to be doing?
Me? Resting.
Resting?
Resting.
Now you got to get to work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resting?
Yes.
Resting.
This guy's getting up at 4 in the morning to go to work. You're going to be sleeping?
Of course.
Jeez.
I'll be in, of course, having dreams of the Stanley Cup in Texas.
That's just
Anyways.
dreams for you, buddy, because that ain't happening.
Anyways, you just got to be realistic. You have to look at all the, it's only like 2-3 games into the year. It's very hard to say about every team at this point. About maybe 15, 20 games, we'll have a better indication of where teams are going to go.
What are our thoughts on the other winter sport, the Pistons, the Basketball Association? Where do you guys feel the
I have no
Pistons
hope
will
of this
finish in the
team.
East?
I have no hope.
No hope.
No hope.
Have you seen any preseason basketball yet?
I've heard that Stan Van Gundy's doing some good things for Detroit right now.
It's only preseason. It doesn't count. Give me some results in the regular season.
Regular season hasn't started yet.
Do you
Because
think
you're
there
in
will
a
be any
You're in a
results?
division with Chicago and Cleveland in there, and also Indiana. You know what I mean? And Milwaukee's gotten better. This team, I think, is not going to make the playoffs. I think they're probably the fourth best team in that division, the Central Division, because you got Chicago's ahead of them, Cleveland's ahead of them, Milwaukee's ahead of them, and Indiana's ahead of them. In that division.
You think Milwaukee's better?
Oh yeah, Jabari Parker. You got Brandon Jen. You got take it back. You got
Jabari
Parker.
Parker.
Oh wait, he's at Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Goodness, what am I thinking?
I don't know. You're not thinking.
No, I still think that the Pistons are the fourth best team in that division. Because Chicago's gonna be good, Cleveland's gonna be good, Indiana's gonna be good, even though they lost their best player.
I don't think Indiana or Chicago are going to be good.
You don't think?
You don't think so?
No.
Chicago's going to be pretty good.
I don't think so.
Why?
Got no bench.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Derrick Rose is going to come back soon.
Paul Gasol will be there.
Yeah.
He's huge for that team.
No.
You look at this. And of course, no one ain't gonna be Cleveland this year. No one's gonna touch Cleveland.
Except for the Pistons.
They won't touch them.
Oh, yeah.
They won't touch them.
You're going to beat LeBron.
No, they won't.
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland. I think
Cleveland,
is gonna be
if
Stan Van
Cleveland does,
Gundy's
if
gonna chew his
anything
head
with
off.
Cleveland, I cannot see Cleveland dealing with the Pistons bigs, particularly Drummond and Monroe. Not even LeBron can deal with Drummond or Monroe. I just feel like that the Pistons have too much size against the Cavaliers. Verjao is not gonna handle the two bigs on his own.
the flopper.
Yeah, that's all he does is flop. That's all he does is flop.
Do you think Pistons basketball will at least be relevant this year?
No,
Why?
because they don't have. Look at all the seats in the Palace of Auburn Hills.
It's just give them time. Do you think through the course of the year?
They ain't coming back. They're not coming back. You look at it here. You look at it when the Avalanche and Stars went through their down years. Yeah, there were empty seats, but the fans filled them up. The Pistons are a whole other story. You can't even. They have like cheap. They have cheap bad entertainment at halftime. Tom Gores is a freaking loser because of that. And here's another thing. This team is not relevant because you look at this team here with the Pistons. This team is not a good basketball team. They should not even have, they don't even fill the seats up for games. Tom Gore's a horrible owner, horrible. Karen Davidson was a bad owner as well. And, of course, this is a team I think that's going to be a disaster waiting to happen. They're not making the NBA playoffs. They're not going to do anything this year. Nothing.
Can we wager something?
No, what?
If they make the playoffs, can we make a bet on something?
They
I'll
won't
take
make the
I'll take
playoffs.
if they make it, you take they won't.
What?
Some bet, I don't know.
I'm not going to wager
Why not?
because I'm smart.
Just Subway
Pistons-
footlonger.
Pistons ain't going to make the playoffs. You just watch. Pistons got no heart on that team at all. No guards. They're the most overrated team in the NBA right now.
Overrated.
They're
Who's
overrated.
rating them high?
Where am I?
You got the Knicks, I know, are overrated, and the Pistons are right there.
Nobody's talking about the Pistons.
Yeah, they're going to struggle badly.
All right. I'll bet you they make the playoffs.
They won't make the playoffs.
I'll bet you they make the playoffs.
They won't make the playoffs.
As Ian and Sammy argue, ladies and gentlemen,
I'll bet you they make the
They
playoffs.
won't make the
I'll
playoffs.
bet you
They
they make the
won't make the
I'll bet
playoffs.
you
They won't make the playoffs.
They
They won't make the playoffs.
I'll bet you. Now they're making the playoffs. I'll tell you. Oh, they're gonna make the playoffs.
Oh my God!
thank you. Okay, let's get back to
Sorry,
some
Mom.
civility here.
Civility.
Civility, yes. Okay, civility.
So,
Civility.
making up new words here.
Okay. All right, let's talk about something that Lake Orion, Clarkston, rivalry week.
Wait. Wasn't there a game on Sunday? Friday?
We're talking about that. We're going to talk about that.
Oh,
But Lake Orion won 27-26 over Bloomfield Hills. Bit of a shocker.
This defense is god awful. I can't even just imagine. Because
But the
This
defense
team-
scored a touchdown.
this team is lucky to be 4-3
Touchdowns.
right now.
The defense scored a touchdown.
This team's lucky to be 4-3 right now. If it wasn't for Matt Krause, this team's 3-4. You look at it here. If it wasn't for Matt Krause saving that game,
You're not crediting the offensive line?
yeah, Matt Krause, the offensive line.
You're not you mean,
I said that. You know what I mean? Matt Krause, the offensive line. That's the reason why they're 4-3 right now. Except the problem that I have is they can't get a consistent first down, though, especially in the final 40 seconds of that game because they gave Bloomfield Hills a chance to win it. You know, because there was like a lot of panic. This team was down 26-14 during the fourth quarter. There was a lot of shock, a lot of panic.
It was shocking.
It was this team. This is a problem. Everything was like that in one season with this team. This team is in a lot of trouble heading into this week.
Do you think that the defense is playing a little bit tight? I
This
mean,
defense-
a lot of it's mental. You look at
They
it's
don't
mental.
pressure the ball. They don't. Their linebackers are not very good. A team can throw a
Easy.
slant pass on them every single time down the field. I mean, like, and then you look at a game this week with Clarkson. You got DJ Zazula, their quarterback. He's gonna have at least 4 or 5 different wide receivers against this defense. I mean, like, I don't trust this defense in this matchup.
You look at, do you feel like, my point is, it seems like, and I've noticed
They
this at
can't
games.
stop Nate Emery.
I noticed this at games, and I've seen it at games. The defense is playing tight, afraid to give up the big play. Have you seen that? I mean, it's not an issue of whether they're good or not. It's just I feel that this defense is one of the most tightest defenses in terms of
You
not
can't
wanting
play-
to make.
You
not
can't
give
play
up
a
the big play.
prevent defense all game long. This is what basically this defense is playing, is a prevent defense. You can't do that in this type of game because you got to be aggressive. You know, this team is not aggressive enough. You know, offensively, this team's one-dimensional. That can't happen in this game. You got to be balanced. This team's not balanced. Defensively, this team can't pressure the ball. I mean, like, they can't even do that. I mean, like, especially in last week, you know, when they took on Nate Emery. Nate Emery ran the ball all over this defense. He scored touchdowns from both quarterback and running backs. This defense is not.
But the
this is one of
defense
the worst
did
defenses
score
I've
a
seen.
touchdown. The defense did score a touchdown early in the game.
Every time they have a good play, it's like bad thing happens. Against Oxford, they end up getting a pick. And what ended up happening? They didn't do well. And then of course last week, this team got a fumble return for a touchdown. What happened the rest of the game? Didn't do well. You know, couldn't do anything. You know what I mean? This defense has been. If this team can't play,
But they're great kids. They're really good kids.
this team can't play good defense. What's the point of getting the playoffs?
Is this matter about making the playoffs or just taking it one game at a time?
This is the game they need.
I know.
This is the game they need. Clarkson's won 20 straight games.
Yes.
And this is a game in which this defense has got to show up. If they don't, and let DJ Zazula throw nuts on this team, throw nuts, this is going to be bad. It's going to happen. Bad things going to happen.
Do you expect the defense to respond? Do you expect the because if you look at the defense, you look at for the most part against Oxford and also Stony Creek in the second half, they played very, very well in those games.
Yeah,
they
Oxford
played
and Stony
very.
Creek are two different animals. This is Clarkson. Look at how bad they play against West Bloomfield. West Bloomfield's got speed. Clarkson's got 2 running backs. They got 4 different wide receivers. They got 3 wide receivers and a very good tight end and a good quarterback who can not only throw the ball, but he can run the ball.
Do you think that time possession and ball control could play a role?
It's going to be huge in this
Running game, offensive line. I mean, you look at Clarkston. Clarkston is not superhuman.
No.
This is your typical, David versus Goliath matchup. Everybody's picking Clarkston. Everyone's thinking Clarkston's going to steamroll Orion. That actually might play into Orion's hands a little bit here.
Orion's got on the lose because you got to look at it here. I mean, like Clarkson's got all the pressure in the world on them. This is a team that's won 20 straight games. Kurt Richardson's done a very nice job with this team. This is going to be they're still going to be good next year, you know what I mean, Clarkson. But when I look at this game, you're right, time possession's a huge factor in this one. I think it's a difference.
All the defense really has to do is just stop them. I mean, it's
hard to do with this offense.
It's challenging, but it's doable. It's doable, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very, and I look at the mindset of the players. I really do look at the mindset, and I think that the mindset.
There's a huge problem with this group. Look at the last 2 years they played Clarkson, especially the senior class. They have the momentum of being defeated. Every time they had defeatism. This is a problem.
Not every one of them does. Not every one of them
does. But you look at the senior class and the junior class.
The mindset.
They have a history of this. And I don't know how it's going to float around.
So you're calling out the guys, aren't you? You're calling out the guys to get the job done. To overcome this defeatist feeling and to get the job done on Friday night.
If they can get it done, then they're in the playoffs, whether they're 6-3 or 5-4. I still think this team's a playoff team, even if they lose to Clarkson. Because when I look at the West Side, teams in state are down. You look at and also you got to look at the rest of the league. Macomb County's struggling right now. A lot of those teams are 4-3 fighting for their lives. Mm-hmm. I think when you look at this game, I think Orion's going to slow Clarkson down. They will slow him down. I mean, problem is the defense can't stop anybody. I'm not still on Clarkson's defense either. Look at Clarkson. They haven't tested since week 3. They gave 41 to West Bloomfield.
We gave up 39 to West Bloomfield.
Only gave 39 to them. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. This is going to be a shootout. I think Orion wins this game. I said to my good friend Keith Dunlap on my podcast.
Your good friend.
I'm going to say Orion wins this one 49-42.
You think 49-42?
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts, Ant?
I've said I think it will be. I think Orion gets the job done. I think Lake Orion will win 38-35. Why do I say it? I think the defense will be motivated. I think the defense will be inspired. I think the defense will be encouraged. I don't like that. I know the defense has been struggling all year. I know that it's been a very challenging time for the defense, but I think the defense is going to gamble. I think the defense is going to play aggressive. We've not seen the best Lake Orion defense yet.
This defense has got off.
This
is the worst.
Can I finish my point? My point is that I think that Lake Orion is going to get the job done. I think they can get to Clarkston, and I think that they're going to ultimately win. Clarkston is due for a loss.
Right.
Clarkston is due, and if you win Friday, a lot of wrongs could be right.
This team, I'm sorry, this is the worst defense I've ever seen.
You said
worse
that
than
last
year.
All right.
You said that last year.
Boys, gotta wave goodbye. Our time has come to an end.
You better owe the community an apology.
If they win, I owe an apology.
Bye now.